Lovers of liberty, the time has come for you to log on and join us for the Scandalous Scandal Recap. We are back for season 5. We are so excited to be here. Thank you all very much for joining us on this TGIT night. Welcome to season 5, episode 1 of the Scandal Hangout. This actually isn't our season 5. This is technically our season 4, Janaya. Can you believe it? We are kicking off season 4 of the Scandal Recap, and we are elated.
So exciting. Yes, we are. Oh my gosh, LBJ, let me just say I have missed this chat. And I am so excited. We have all of our best friends in the chat already. Oh man, it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a really, really good one. I got a feeling tonight's going to be a good night, is what the Black Eyed Peas said. Listen, if you are joining us for the first time, we encourage you to use the Scandal Recap hashtag, which is at the bottom of both of our screens. And if you want to invite someone to join us, please do that at this time. You can watch us on YouTube. You can watch us on Google+. You could also tell somebody to watch us on, where else can folks watch us? Yeah, they can send us texts and tweets and stuff like that too. I'm acting like I've never done this before.
Yeah,
it's been a while, right?
Is this your first time, LBJ?
This is my first time with a beard like this in a very long time. You know, my beard is normally like a whole personality on the Scandal Recap. But I had an incident a few weeks ago getting ready for church, and I cut the side of my beard in an L shape. So yeah, I had to start all over with my beard. So yeah, there goes that. Janaya, but speaking of hair, I mentioned my hair might grow at the end of last season's Scandal Recap. And it looks like you had a little miraculous something happen over the summer.
LBJ, it was the craziest thing. I was taking these vitamins, right? and then I woke up and I had all of this hair. LBJ, it's like 2 feet of hair. I mean, it's been quite a summer. That's what I'll say.
That's hilarious. Well, it looks great. I'm glad you have it. I'm so glad we are joined. Listen, if you want to talk to us, you can always mention something and say right in the Q&A on the side of the page that's there. And listen, we like to invite you to come and converse with us on camera. So if your camera is right, your lighting is good, your background's good, you can totally come chat with us on the Scandal Recap. I meant to take my glasses off today. Let's see if I can do this without my glasses and then see. Can I see? Oh, no, we're going to keep the glasses back on, folks.
I would recommend that. Yes, good call.
So, and those will get the reflection in my glasses today. Janaya, Scandal is back. And we begin Scandal tonight with Sally Langston and all of her Midwestern Southern Bible Belt glory. And she really served as like a muse / narrator in old school like theater of tonight's season premiere. I loved how Sally Langston was used tonight to kind of really open and close the episode, Janaya.
LBJ, let me just go ahead and say it right now for the record. I love Sally Langston. Now, is she an enemy of all of the characters that we love and follow and the reasons we watch this show? Absolutely. But LBJ, whoever is writing her script, LBJ, I mean, the way that she talks, she has so much disdain for everything that is happening in the White House. She is so full of bitterness and venom. It just pours forth, and I love it. She was so good tonight, LBJ.
She was so good tonight. Like, you're right. It's venom that Sally spews out of her mouth. And it is so good. Like, it's almost like filth in a way she said it. Like, you're right. There's disdain that she has, but there's also this just air of stankness that Sally Langston has. And she is presenting what she has to say to the people on her Inside the Beltway, like Sunday morning talking head political roundup show. I think the show, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, LBJ, I wrote down one of the quotes from how she kicked off the show tonight. Mm-hmm. You know, so you'll remember at the beginning of the episode, she's there once again criticizing the White House for every single thing they're doing. And she's talking about a really fantastic dinner that the White House is putting on. LBJ, as she was talking about that dinner, what did you think she was about to announce?
I don't know what I thought. See, I don't know if I gave it any thought about, I don't know what I thought Sally was going to announce when she was talking about the state dinner. I thought, well, really, no. Let me take a few steps back, because I did kind of think something. I was like, don't put that in your mind. Put it out of your mind.
Right.
I really thought that she was going to say that you're talking about when they said they're trying to figure out who's going to sit next to the president. Is that what you're talking about?
Right. Because Sally Langston, when she was narrating and talking about, a big dinner that was being set up at the White House, it was for the Queen and the Prince and the Princess.
Right.
Yes. And they're setting it up. But LBJ, she had a long monologue before they actually identified what the dinner was about. And LBJ, I just have to know, was I the only person who thought that it was like Olivia and Fitz engagement party?
Really? You thought that? I
don't know.
For that. Like, it's too soon. Like, it totally was not Olivia and Fitz's engagement party. I didn't get that drift. I thought that they were going to say maybe Olivia Pope was going to be a guest of the president.
Got it.
And at the state dinner. I didn't think that they were going to say it was an engagement party. It's way too soon for them to be having an engagement party.
You're right.
But it was so good. Sally Langston really came out as the muse in the episode, and she started poking at what she's been trying to allude to on her show all along with the president. Remember, she's got it out for this man at this point, and she's trying to take him down by any means necessary. She's got nothing to lose. She's already had her bid at the White House and everything else. Yeah. Sally Langston has nothing to lose. She even said, she's like, her part of her venom says that the president betrayed honor and virtue of the American people.
Yes.
She said, she's going on and on and on, and she keeps engaging her folks by calling them liberty lovers. Liberty lovers, come close to the screen, liberty lovers. Liberty lovers, let's talk about this sitting president that we have. Yeah, is he sitting on our tax dollars while the walls of the White House are caving in? Liberty lovers, what is our president doing?
Yes, and once again, he has the audacity to ask us to hold his hand and skip down the road to Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh yeah, skip down the road. Yeah, that was a good one. Skip down the road to Sodom and Gomorrah. That was good. Yeah.
It was so good, LBJ. She is just so full of venom. I think that this was a wonderful, wonderful strategic piece of planning for this show. To have Sally Langston not disappear, but to have a true enemy of the White House in that position of media power. That was brilliant. They're going to be able to use that mechanism to play off of whatever the main storylines are forever. It is brilliant, and I love it. And LBJ, I have to call out Coffee Light and Sweet in the chat. She loved what you said. She said, wait, regarding Sally, did Larry say air of stankness? I am hollering over here.
Yes, Coffee Light and Sweet. I did. We did miss you. So good to see you. I did say an air of stankness. Janai, other folks are glad to be back too. Our friend Zoe Emil is like, hey guys, miss you over the summer.
Miss you too, Zoe.
Zoe Emil, our buddy Dan Blakemore is back. Good to be back. Good to be seen, Dan. Hello to you, Dan the man. And Kimmy J. Kimmy J is saying, yes, glad to be back. Everybody is here.
LBJ, Yolanda Baker's in the chat. Glenda Wyndham's in the chat. Oh man, I'm beyond excited right now. And it has nothing to do with the 3 shots of espresso I had before the show.
Wait, can we take a moment and just pause? Because as you can see, there's been a makeover in my background on my set here in Washington, and we've got some new drapes in here, new colors on the walls and stuff like that. Janaya is actually, and Janaya, tell the people where you are tonight.
I am actually in San Francisco, everybody. I am on vacation, and frankly, it's really my first real vacation of the year. And so I'm getting together with some girlfriends, and we're going hiking and going to do some wine touring. It's going to be wonderful, LBJ. And let me just say, kicking off my vacation with this show tonight, just the perfect launch for my vacation weekend.
It is. We will tell you all at the end of tonight's episode what we did to make it so that Janaya could watch tonight's show on the Pacific time.
Yeah, while we're on the East Coast time. Let's save it for the end, please.
But before we get to the end, Janaya, we have to talk about Gabby Abby Red at the state dinner. So we're at the state dinner, and Gabby Abby Red is having her like lady issues that you all normally have, like your feet, you're sitting down in a little lounge area, rubbing your feet. You want to put your flats on, you know. If it's church, they just walk around barefoot. Like they don't care. They just walk around the fellowship hall with socked feet on and stockings on, walking corn pad on the side of it.
Right, but, with the flip flop ministry meeting in the basement.
Right. Yes. Or just go bare. Just nothing. But Olivia and Gabby Abby Red are in there talking, and what happens? The princess is there inside of the bathroom, just trying to get away from it all. Princess Emily, and she comes out and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Your Highness." And they have a moment, a moment where, you know, they engage with each other. They apologize for their raunchiness in the bathroom in the presence of the queen, who is, by the way, an American-born princess, who is, by the way, American-born, but she now lives in the EU. And then the princess has a revelation. She's like, oh shoot, you're Olivia Pope. You covered my wedding when I was getting married 4 years ago, blah, 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 blah. And they share a human moment with each other. And then after the state dinner, tragedy strikes, Janiyah. And we've seen this tragedy before in national news with Princess Diana and Dodi Fayed. It was straight from those pages.
Yes, it was.
Tragedy. And Olivia Pope comes in like the trooper she is, and she starts gladiating. It was so good to see Olivia Pope back gladiating this episode with this case that she had.
LBJ, I totally agree. And I have to say that was one of my main questions coming into this season. Would they give us some cases? LBJ, there were parts in last season where, you know what, the whole episodes were just full of Olivia-related drama. And she wasn't out there gladiating. We weren't there, doing the thing that got us hooked on the show to begin with, which was watching Olivia be a superhero, saving the day. And LBJ, she was back at it tonight, and it was so refreshing. LBJ, I'm so happy you mentioned that conversation between Gabby Abby and also Olivia in the bathroom with the princess, right? Right after Gabby Abby left in complete shame because she had clearly just insulted the princess, darn near in front of the princess, Olivia and the princess chit-chat just a little bit. And the princess is reflecting on her experience of having been thrust into the spotlight as a commoner that had married a famous man. And LBJ, she said, you know what? To the world, I'm not a human. I'm just a spectacle. And LBJ, it was just so amazing because as the princess was there telling her story, she was really telling the story of a potential future that Olivia might have chosen tonight, actually, right?
That's good, Janiyah.
Of being thrust into the spotlight, not because of her own merits, not because of, being a virtuous person in a situation, but just by virtue of being married to somebody famous. LBJ, I'm going to tell you once again, Shonda, in all of her majesty, she's always giving us clues, LBJ. She's always just throwing little nuggets out there for us to catch. It was great foretelling with that scene.
It was great foretelling. And it was also, she always gives us, like we always say here on the Scandal Recap, nothing is arbitrary in this television show.
Yes.
Everything is seen and said for a reason. There was a reason why Olivia Pope's phone rang while she was in the bed with the president from the queen. And she's like, yes, Your Majesty. Like, how did Your Majesty get my cell phone number? Like, this is the Fitz line. Like, what are you doing calling this phone number?
Right.
Man? And so to me right there, that was already a point of scrutiny or something we should put a pin in. Because I'm like, okay, why is the queen the one making this call for this tragedy out the gate? So immediately, like, the queen's responsible for this because she needs a fixer. And she knows Olivia's a fixer. She set this whole thing up to take this woman down in the U.S. and have Olivia Pope take care of this. She's no stranger to that royal family.
Absolutely. And LBJ, she knew that if she didn't have Olivia on her side, Olivia would be on the other side. You know what you do? You keep your enemies close. And the queen, she's no fool. Well, at least at this point in the episode, she's no fool. LBJ, she literally was so strategic in getting Olivia to be a part of her camp. And so we see Olivia, there she is on the side of the road, and somehow, and again, LBJ, there are always those moments in the show that are just not exactly plausible. No traffic is getting through whatsoever. None. Right. But somehow Olivia
in Washington, D.C. In a tunnel in Washington, D.C.
Exactly. And somehow Olivia, within 3 minutes, gets from the White House to Random Tunnel, and she gets through all the barricades, and there she is at the body. And LBJ, she does one of those hero movements, takes off her white jacket, throws it over the body, and then turns to the press and says, "Have some respect." LBJ.
It was her good white coat too. That lining was Burberry on the inside. That was the good white coat.
Well, she invoiced the Queen for that. Right. She will be reimbursed for that coat.
That's going to be her expense report when she closes out the case.
Exactly. One good Burberry. That's going right. That's going right on the expense report, LBJ. So there she is, LBJ. She's at the side of the body. She's shooing the paparazzi away. Then we find ourselves back at OPA, and LBJ, I'm going to let you recap the scene because your best friend was there in OPA.
Oh my God. Okay. Let the heavens resound, the angels rejoice. Quinn is in it to win it, okay? I love Quinn, and Janiyah doesn't like Quinn.
The worst. Get her out of here. When will she retire?
Everyone knows, like, hey, if you're watching this for the first time, I love Quinn. Quinn is my favorite character.
The worst.
Scandal from episode 1 to season 5, episode 1. Season 1, episode 1, season 5, episode 1. Quinn has held it down. She is committed, and Quinn is loyal. No matter where she is, Quinn is loyal in every situation that we see her in. This woman is holding down OPA by herself. She is a one-man band, which we did not hear for any old reason. Remember, Quinn said, "I'm a one-man band" in episode 1 of the season. So what's going to happen? We're going to get more gladiators this year. We already know that the cast has expanded. This is a sidebar, but the cast has expanded, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for Janiyah's boo in her head. Marcus Walker is returning as to the cast of Scandal, and he will play some kind of role this year. They actually showed his name in the opening credits as well, so we know that he's a part of the cast.
And for those who don't know, quick sidebar, I started a campaign on Twitter called #BringMarcus_Back. Okay, and I do absolutely take credit for the fact that he is now a regular on the show, and I tweeted him as such. He did not reply, but I know he agrees.
That is hilarious. Anyhow, Quinn, in the meantime, in between time, is working at OPA, and she's really trying to put together this entire puzzle with Princess Emily's death. And so, of course, we use the glass window with the window panes in there, and they put all the pictures up on the wall, and Quinn's going through telling all the facts to Olivia, and they're working there. And Quinn, being the loyalist that she is, Quinn works overnight on this case to make sure that we figure out what happened to the princess. Was this a murder or was this an accident? And we see that in that time, there is Quinn gets all the photographs from all the paparazzi that were there. All of the photographs. If you remember that scene, there were like 80,000 people there in that tunnel taking pictures of the princess. And then she takes those 80,000 pictures, but she really gets like 79,999. And there's that one photo she didn't get from this one photog, we believe was a photog, on a motorcycle and a black helmet, dressed in all black like the omen. And he goes off. They zoom in while they're OPA, and they're figuring out, wait a second, this isn't a camera. This is a scrambler. This man hacked into the princess's vehicle, and he essentially caused her to die. It was a setup. The princess's death was an assassination. We learned later in the episode, Janiyah, that the assassination was set up because the princess was pregnant, and it was a possibility that the baby was not going to be within the royal lineage. It was going to be the jump off of the princess, who happened to be her bodyguard.
Right, not the royal lineage, the jump-offage is what it might have been.
Exactly.
And no one wants that. LBJ, who does Olivia go to try to find justice for the late princess? Our best friend, on and off again lover of us, David Rosen.
Yes.
LBJ, let the record show that David Rosen, I really do go back and forth on this guy. Even within this episode, LBJ, it's like he's really hard and like up for whatever for parts of the conversation. But then there are other moments where he's just so hesitant to step up, and Olivia has to use some of her manipulative forces, AKA the nectar, to just try to like manipulate David. Okay. LBJ. So there she goes right to David Rosen. And David Rosen is like, no, I can't do anything about this. I mean, it's diplomatic immunity. I mean, it's the princess, yada, yada, yada. And Olivia says, David, you are the Attorney General of the United States. She's an American, killed in America. We are not going to let this go. David, of course, once again, can't hold his ground, gives in, and he's helping Olivia. LBJ. Then they're off to avenge the murder of the princess. Meanwhile, back at the White House, LBJ, our best friend, Lizzie Bear DeGeneres,
yes,
who is now Chief of Staff of the White House,
yes,
okay, is having some run-ins with Mellie. What did you think about that relationship tonight?
Yo, it was so good. Let me tell you, it was so good. So Scandal is notorious for monologues. Every episode we get a monologue. And Lizzie Bear DeGeneres tonight was the monologue queen. Well, she was one of the monologue queens tonight.
Yes.
And Lizzie Bear really just, gave it to Mellie. Someone on Twitter tweeted me, and I was talking about the monologues, and I was like, Jill Scott said that, some song of her love, somebody's love incited her to chorus. I said, Scandal incites me to want a monologue. And because I said, these monologues are epic. And this girl wrote back to me. She said, I have missed these readathons that people are having, that they have on Scandal. And that's essentially what happened. There was a readathon that took place on Scandal tonight between Lizzie Bear DeGeneres and Mellie. And the way that it went down, Mellie wasn't ready for it. And poor Mellie. Poor, and I've always said this, poor Mellie. But really, poor
Mellie.
But Mellie had that look of just like paralysis on her face, listening to the words that were coming out of Lizzie Bear DeGeneres' mouth. Yes. And she really gave it to her as if she had the spirit of Cyrus being on top of her and coming out of her mouth like a demon. Like she was really telling her, no, he doesn't care for you anymore. He's done with you. You're over. I'm his chief of staff. He talks to me, and I'm telling you that he is not coming to your swearing in. And that was like the crux of the conversation, right?
Yeah.
They were there trying to figure out if the president was coming to her swearing in for her newly elected position. And Lizzie Bear was just like, hey, let me tell you something, homegirl. I have the intel. I know because I'm a chief of staff. You might be his wife on paper, right? But he's not. He has no respect for you. And she said, no, he's not coming to your thing. But she just said all kinds of crazy stuff to her. I can't give you the quotes from that monologue, but it was really, really good.
Yeah, it was so good, LBJ. What she really said, and I loved it, and you're right, it was so Cyrus-like. She said to Mellie, oh, I was never loyal to you. Hashtag truth check, hashtag, clearing the air. She was like, anything I've ever done was to further my own goals. I've never been loyal to you. And Mellie is sitting there looking what Boo-Boo the Fool, mouth agape. Oh, I'm once again victim, Mellie. And I love the term readathon because that's exactly what it was. And LBJ, I just have to say it. I like Lizzie Bear DeGeneres. Now,
she's good. Yeah, she's good.
I think she's very good. I just think that getting Portia de Rossi to play this role was a stroke of genius. There is something about her, LBJ, where she is just so cold and callous and calculating, but you kind of want to get with her a little bit. There's something about her that's also enticing. And so watching her play against Mellie, I'm enjoying this exchange, LBJ. I look forward to more of it.
Yeah, what else I look forward to? I look forward to more interactions, not just with Mellie and Lizzie Bear DeGeneres, but I'm looking forward to more interactions between Lizzie Bear DeGeneres and Gabby Abbey Red. Yes. I think that there is going to be some kind of alliance or some kind of out moment that they're going to have to really try to work against this Olivia and Fitz machine, or some people call it the Olitz conglomerate that's going on between Olivia and Fitz. We saw tonight in the episode that Olivia, you already said the N-word, but I'm going to say the N-word, the only real N-word that's allowed on this YouTube channel.
Oh Lord!
And that's the
hashtag editorial.
And that's the nectar. The nectar. The nectar factor is alive and well. And there were 3 times that we saw that. And don't forget about Gabby Abbey Red and Lizzie Bear DeGeneres. Mm-hmm. But there's the nectar factor with what you mentioned earlier with Olivia going to David Rosen. That was the first one. The second one was Olivia getting the president to go to his wife's swearing in when everyone on his staff, everybody who was key to know his movements, thought he was not going. And all of a sudden, Abby Red gets played in the press room. And they're like, are you really telling us that he's not going to her swearing in? Are you going on record saying she's not? She's like, no, he's not there. They were like, well, why do we see him there right now on the hill, swearing in?
Yes.
We saw that tonight. And then we saw the Nectar Factor be caring and nurturing in what she did for Huck. And we can talk about that later. But the Nectar Factor came in and changed the game for Lizzie and Abby Red. They had a moment of epiphany when Lizzie Bear DeGeneres realized that it's Olivia Pope who's really being Geppetto to Fitz's Pinocchio. And now they see what they're working against. It was further affirmed for Abby Red when she caught them on the veranda outside of the sleeping quarters of the White House, and she saw them making out before we went back to Sally Langston's TV show. That's what I'm predicting. An early prediction for me, Janiyah, for Abby Red and Lizzie Bear DeGeneres for this episode, this season of the show.
LBJ, once again, you're so brilliant. I think you're completely correct. Because you know what? There was also a moment early in the episode where Abby Red asked Olivia flat out, have you been talking to the president? Olivia had an opportunity to come clean with her friend. And remember, Abby Red and Olivia, at the end of the day, they do call each other friend. Yes. They have been colleagues. They have been, on and off again in terms of White House relationship, but they have been friends at the core of everything. And LBJ, Olivia lied right to Abby's face. So that's a perfect setup for Abby's allegiance to shift. Yeah. And when you think about it, LBJ, Olivia doesn't have any friends left. Mellie, nope. Lizzie Bear, nope. Abby Red is now scorned. And LBJ, we can't forget that there was an old friend that also got, slightly involved in the conversation this evening. And that was who? Cyrus Bean.
Cyrus, yeah.
Who brought Cyrus Bean? Mellie, your best friend. Yeah. Mellie, there she is. Oh, I'm super victim. And she goes and talks to Cyrus.
She was a victim tonight. That lady,
oh, God.
She's hurt.
Here she goes. Oh, Cyrus, it's me and you. Fitz doesn't want either of us. We have to stick together. Cyrus was not hearing any of it, LBJ. Cyrus still believes in his heart that Fitz is going to call upon him again. What do you think of that?
I think that Cyrus is going to be needed, and it's very clear that Cyrus is going to be in the picture because it's about to go down the roller coaster hill next week on Scandal with the tease that we saw, and Cyrus is going to be directly related to that. We don't know how Cyrus is related to that. We don't know now that Cyrus is out of the White House camp. He has no allegiance because the president's like, you know what, dude, peace. Like, I'm done with you. And so is it that Cyrus actually gave some photos to the media? Did he give intel or did he let them know who they could speak with, who could leak information from the White House to Sally's show? What role is Cyrus really playing? Whose team is Cyrus on? Is Cyrus really, is Cyrus still with Olivia? Remember, Olivia had to remind him, hey, we're the help.
Right.
We are the help. And then
we are.
We're the help. Cyrus might need to be empowered now so that he might, one, could go back to the White House, two, take down Lizzie Bear DeGeneres while he's going back to the White House in that role, or three, just take down the White House altogether. I don't know. Cyrus to me is going to be one of these mystery men that we're not going to know what angle he's playing until somebody's dead or there's like there's something that we need to figure out. We're like, could it be Cyrus? Like, could Cyrus be the one?
Right.
Cyrus might be that character where he comes back in later in the season, and it's like, oh, I should have seen that on Cyrus's bookshelf back there when Mellie went to his office. Yes. It was right there, and now it's the murder weapon. We should know all along it was Cyrus. That could be what Cyrus is this season.
Well, LBJ, you'll recall one of the questions I raised after the season finale of season 4. I put it out there, LBJ. Is Cyrus going to go to the dark side? He's always championed.
He really did, yeah.
He's always championed the Republic. But guess what? With Papa Pope behind bars, by the way, is he still behind bars? But with Papa Pope behind bars, LBJ, he needs some foot soldiers. Is Cyrus being the man with the plan? We'll see. I wouldn't put it past Shonda for us to see Cyrus do a switcheroo. He's got no soul. He said it himself.
Yeah. It's crazy. Coffee Light and Sweet says one of the gladiators on Twitter tweeted that Cyrus leaked the affair. Sounds about right. He will do anything back in the White House. That's all he has. He very well could have. He very well.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Because he knows about it. Cyrus knows all about it. So he's like, you know what? Hey, you want me to really tell you something? Now, to me, Cyrus sold out to the wrong one. He needs to go to a source that is going to really like put some money in his pocket, although he doesn't need the money. Sidebar: where's Cyrus's daughter? I didn't see any kind of nanny in the house.
Hashtag baby missing. We don't know. She doesn't come around much.
Hashtag black and missing. You know, she was.
Someone check the milk cartons. But anyway, but LBJ, I have to say, I love this theory. Was it Cyrus? LBJ, I had to ask myself, was it Mellie? Right? Because remember, when Fitz went, okay, now we didn't cover this scene yet. You know, as you said, LBJ, Olivia was the only person that was able to convince Fitz to go to Mellie's swearing in for her new role as a politician in Virginia. LBJ, Fitz took that opportunity to serve Mellie with divorce papers.
Absolutely.
And Mellie said in that moment, again, victim Mellie, I'll never sign them. You can't make me. And that's my Mellie impression. You can't make me. And then Fitz goes, oh, you'll sign them. And he basically does a little rant, LBJ, about how he holds all the cards and how no matter what, you know, he's going to end up with a life that could recover from a scandal, but that she would not be able to. LBJ, that is the perfect motive for her to really put some blemishes on his record. And so for that reason, I thought Mellie might have done it.
Really? You thought Mellie? You really think Mellie? Let me tell you why.
I don't know.
Mellie needs that man to make it to her next level. He is directly connected to her next level. And if she does not have him, in her mind, she cannot make it. Mellie is ready to bring in whomever she can to help her with the situation. Why? Because she needs Fitz to need her. Fitz let her know. He said, look, I'm going to run you the list of my accomplishments. My bucket list is done. All of my goals in life are met. I've been the president of the free world, man. Your accomplishments are smiling and waving. That was direct quotes to her. Yeah. So your accomplishments are smiling and waving. You got a ways to go. And if this is what you don't want to do, hey, listen, whatever my scandal's going to be, that's fine. I've done things. I can go into oblivion. He can go to Vermont. The house isn't sold in Vermont. I haven't seen it on Zillow. I didn't see it on Redfin. Where is it? Where is it? Right. It's not for sale. Remax didn't post that house up in Vermont. It still exists. Right. You can technically go to Vermont and be in oblivion and just live in Ben and Jerry's ice cream with Olivia and live happily ever after. Who knows what could happen with that situation? But that was a wonderful and really monumental scene for Olivia and Fitz, because Fitz is really done with this woman. But then Nectar comes back in at the end of the episode. I'm like, hold on. Like, I know my Nectar is good, but Nectar can't have you serve her with divorce papers right now, because everybody is going to look at us. We're going to become a spectacle. All the work that you're going to be doing is going to be focused on us, because we are now this couple. Make it through this and not serve her these papers. So they now have to find a way, I think, that they're going to have to live with some agreement. So, you know, we don't have Uncle Andrew anymore. So, but Mellie's going to need some kind of attention to have his Olivia Nectar. And it's just going to be one big old like dormitory in the White House going on.
LBJ, I have to say, you know, it's so funny that you use the analogy of a dormitory, because LBJ, there was a really important scene right at the beginning of the episode and it was after Olivia and Fitz had just got done canoodling and oh my gosh, they're so in love and just, you know, bumping and grinding and all that good stuff. LBJ, they can't even get down to the state dinner because they just can't keep their hands off each other. So finally, they've made their way to the elevators. LBJ, the president takes the elevator to the right and Olivia takes the elevator to the left. LBJ, it was Olivia, you're the help all over again. So anyways, so LBJ, right. In my mind, I went to, you know, history about, you know, separate entrances and exits for the people who own the house and the people who worked at the house. You know, you're talking about a dormitory. You evoke that image again, LBJ. I have to say, Olivia sitting there talking to Fitz, saying, no, 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 don't divorce Mellie, LBJ, she's choosing the life of the help yet again, which is exactly what her mother tried to school her on.
Absolutely.
Her mother has tried on at least 2 occasions to open her eyes. Olivia, you cannot win in this situation. You're choosing this life as the help. LBJ, and I have to just roll back to an earlier storyline that we touched on to share one of Dan Blakemore's comments. He said that Cyrus's daughter is with America's baby in a White House basement. Hashtag Carmen Sandiego.
Wait,
LBJ, that's so good.
It is. Coffee Light and Sweet mentioned something about that too. She said, hashtag Black and Missing, hashtag Baby Ella. That is hysterical. But seriously though, where is that baby?
Where is the baby?
And she said, where is Michael the hubby as well? Michael the hubby?
No, he should be there. Because remember, they had this in the contract.
That's right, yes.
To be together.
So you know what? Maybe they were at the Whole Foods. They were shopping at
that's right. They were low on
grapes. They were getting
right. Grapes. They were low on grapes. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
School Michael had to job. I'm like, Michael, wait, the hubby. I'm like, yeah, I forgot. The jump off.
No, seriously, I forgot about him.
Yeah, that's the jump off guy. Yeah. So listen.
But go ahead.
No, you go.
LBJ, I was going to take us back to our case of the evening, which was the death of the princess, killed in a car accident. And we now know by the end of the episode that the person who orchestrated the whole thing was the queen, because she said, you know what? I'm not going to what do we call a jump offage? I'm not going to have a jump offage baby taking over my crown in the future. LBJ, Olivia goes to confront her and she says, you know what? I've uncovered that this is a murder. The queen comes clean, but then proceeds to tell Olivia that there's nothing she can do about it. LBJ, and I wrote down a few quotes from that episode. That scene.
Oh, it's gonna be good. I already know.
Because it's 3 words. The queen said, "I am justice." Right? Olivia's like, "No, I'm going out to get justice."
Right.
And the queen says, "I am justice."
No, you had too much movement, Janai. The queen didn't move that much.
What did she do? How did she do it?
No, she just kind of sat there. She sat there and she looked to the left and she looked to the right and Olivia said, "I'm going to get justice." Grabbing coats and white coats and white hats. "I'm going to get justice. You hired me for justice." "Oh no, you won't. I am justice."
LBJ, you're completely right, because you know what? She says that 3 times a week. 3 times a week, she has to check somebody who thinks they're about to check her, right?
Like, I'm not gonna get my blood pressure up with this. Let me just let you know I'm justice, and there's nothing else. There's nothing further to discuss.
Yeah. She's like, you signed a non-disclosure agreement. I have diplomatic immunity. This is a private matter. There's literally nothing you can do. Yeah. Olivia, she goes back to her house. LBJ. She lays on the couch and she's distraught.
Oh wait, no. Wait, what happened? How was she allowed to go back to her home though, Janiyah? You have to discuss that. And first of all, Olivia was stopped in her tracks by the queen, and she said, "Oh, wait a second.
Oh, that's right.
You haven't been dismissed. You haven't been dismissed.
The help yet again.
Thou thinkest you shall walketh away." And she's like, "No, you haven't been dismissed." And then the queen just like monologued her. Olivia, like, "Wait a second, you monologuing me?" And then the queen's like, You're dismissed. You may leave now. Okay, you can go." It was like, ooh, ouch, Olivia. She kind of gave it to you.
Yeah, she really did. Olivia got checked, LBJ, big time. So there she goes, tail between her legs. She heads back, to her apartment. She lays down on the couch and she's staring off into space. I've just been checked, but justice must be served. This is what she's thinking.
Right. Wait, what is she thinking?
I've just been checked, but justice must be served. What am I going to do? And she's calling upon all of the fixer gods and goddesses. And LBJ, a light from heaven shows onto a newspaper that's on the coffee table, and she sees a picture of the prince. And she says, "Gotcha, queen." And that's, again, she's thinking that in her head. And then LBJ, she goes running over to the prince. She tells the prince everything that happened. And what did the prince do with that information, LBJ?
Oh, he took it and he stuck it to her. They had that body going onto the royal aircraft to take them back to take them over the pond for the ceremony. And he told his mother that she is going to step down from reigning, and she shall reign no more and spend the rest of her life in the ice castle or whatever he called that thing. And then he said, the only other time I will rejoice in seeing rejoice in being in your presence, mother, is at your funeral. You hear me? It's going to be at your funeral. I have nothing else to do with you. You had my wife murdered. And I know you had my wife murdered because the woman you had this non-disclosure agreement with, Olivia Pope, told me, and she was able to tell me because you did not name me in the agreement. She could divulge everything to me.
Yes.
Mother.
And LBJ. And we have to acknowledge that Olivia in that moment took the opportunity to get the last word with the queen.
Oh, she did.
Back when the queen had checked her to the left and to the right, to the north, to the south, okay, the queen said to her, you know what? Not all fairy tales have a happy ending. She's basically saying, sure, we thought there was some wonderful story for the prince and princess. Not all fairy tales have a happy ending. Olivia takes this opportunity when the prince has taken down the queen, and she leans over into the queen's ear and she says, yeah, you're right, queen. Not all fairy tales have a happy ending, but the evil queen, she usually goes down. And then she walks away. I was like, drop the mic.
She dropped the mic. Evil queens never win. All the memes blew up all over Twitter after that line. So everybody's going to be talking about an evil queen tomorrow. And we're going to have another 2 weeks of evil queen this, evil queen that. It was really good. And because Olivia did it in that whisper voice that she uses. And she had to have the respect because it was a somber occasion. And she had to sit, she had to kind of lean in. And the queen had to keep her poker face that she's done in the entire episode. It was really, really, really good. Oh, man. It was
so good.
It was so, so good. But can we talk about a moment, Janiyah, that I saw when we were in the episode? I wonder what this means, and I wonder where this actually is. And you all tell me, for all of our friends watching right now, if you caught this as well. When Olivia left the presence, when she was dismissed out of the presence of the queen, she returned to her condo. She gets to her condo or her apartment. She goes there, and she sits down on her sofa. Did you notice on the sofa that the pillow that the wine was still on at the end of season 3 was still missing? Remember when Olivia was kidnapped at the end of season 3, her red wine glass spilled on the sofa. I believe Jake or someone had it sent off for cleaning or something like that. Whatever. The pillow went off and the pillow has not returned to the sofa. Why hasn't the pillow returned to the sofa? Who has the pillow? Will the pillow ever make a return to the sofa? What's up with the sofa pillow with the wine stain? I need answers. Somebody give me what you're thinking. Did you see it? Did you not see it? Let me know.
LBJ, your new nickname is Eagle Eyes, because how did you catch that? I completely did not even see that. You were so good. Where is that cushion?
Where is it? I don't know. I don't know where it is.
LBJ, speaking of Olivia's couch, we have to talk about Crazy Basie himself.
Yeah.
Huck.
Huck, yeah.
Last time we saw Huck in season 4, I mean, literally the man, I mean, he had always been, having just more screws loose than tight. Okay. But LBJ at the end of the last season, he was completely unraveling. He was going crazy, just wanting to get back to be with his family. And he had gone so far, LBJ, as to betray OPA, to betray all of them, LBJ, to try to get to be back with his family. And Quinn, of course, your best buddy, she really, truly, she's not talking to him because she called him out. She said, Huck, there's some darkness in you right now, and I can't deal with it. And she has challenged him to check himself. So that's what Huck is trying to do. He's there camping out in Olivia's apartment. And Olivia comes home one day early in the episode, and she sees Huck laying on the couch. And Huck is like, Olivia, I need you to fix me. And she's like, I can't fix you, Huck. What you talking about, Huck? LBJ, Huck figured out a way to get fixed. And who did he go to get fixed, LBJ?
He goes to Jake to get fixed because Olivia hit him with the Iyama Van Zant moment. She was just like, look, okay, I know. He's like, Olivia, I need you to fix me. I haven't seen Kim and my son, and in a long time I've been here. He's like, what's going on? Are you okay, Olivia? What's going on with you? You came back here. Did he kick you out of your bed? Huck is fully aware of what's going on at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Let's be clear.
Yes.
He's like, what's going on with you? Did he kick you out of his bed? Be like, tell me what's going on, Olivia. Are you okay? I'm concerned about you. And Olivia's like, look, Huck, I'm fine. Don't be worried about me. I live here. I just came back home to just come back home and just get my mind right, clear my head about a few things. I'm working right now, Huck. And I probably could really use you to work, but Huck, you're not right now, so you can't work. But you need to go someplace and get fixed. He's like, I fix situations. I don't fix people. And in my mind, if you all watch Iyanla Fix My Life, Olivia Pope hit Huck with a "not on my watch" moment where Iyanla always screams "not on my watch." And so Olivia's like, "not on my watch." He's like, "Oh, okay." And so he had the 752's way on Jake's apartment. Like, look, man, I need help. 752, BC13, all the number in the Matrix code. I need help, bro. And he comes in like, come on in. So what's going to happen behind those closed doors? It only remains to be seen.
LBJ, let me just say, when Huck opened that door, my heart skipped not one beat, but two. Okay, because I love Jake. I didn't want Jake to leave. I want him to come back. I mean, if Olivia can't be with Marcus, I want her to at least be with Jake. I mean, Jake loved her, LBJ. I mean, he loved her in a real way. He turned his life around. You know, he totally made so many sacrifices for her. And LBJ, he just could not win her love. But he left at the end of last season, walked away from her saying, you know what? You don't love me. I'm giving up. I want you to know, Jake, I have not given up on your love. You are better for Olivia. You're still broken. Okay. You're not super awesome, but I would choose you over Fitz any day, Jake. Any day. I'll always be Team Jake.
Okay. All right.
All right. I'm sorry. You thought I said something about Quinn? That's probably why you were silent. I was talking about Jake. Okay.
No. I wanted it to be anticlimactic. It's perfectly fine. No, Team Jake is great. Like, I understand there's a faction of people out there, especially a lot of the women folk who love Jake and they love his presence. They want everything to be about Jake. And all I want to say is that it's fine. If Olivia's going to be with Jake, or if Jake is going to fight to the death for Olivia, then let him fight to the death for Olivia. But I really want Jake to rise up in all his Jake superhero-ness and just start getting nasty and grimy. Like, bring back the B613 training that you had, Jake, and come back with a vengeance if you're going to come back. I need you and Huck to team up and create your own something. I want them to go into a war room, and not a war room of prayer, but like a war room to fight. I want them to go into that war room and devise a plan to take someone down, devise a plan to shoot something up, devise a plan to murder some folks who need to be taken down. I want to see a full rollout with Huck and Jake this season on Scandal, because they are the only two. They're the only 2 or 3 surviving folks who were 4. There are 2 or 4 surviving people from B613. There's Huck, there's Jake, there's Papa Pope, and there's who? Quinn. Those are the people who were left who were involved with B613. I need something to come out of that apartment next week or the next 2 weeks from the 2 of them.
I totally agree. And LBJ, I'm going to do what Olivia would have done in a situation where someone did not let her have her climactic moment. Are
you gonna do a lip quiver? What are you gonna do?
LBJ, I'm going to make a statement, okay? And then I'm going to give it the resonance that it deserves. Are you ready?
I'm ready, yes.
At the end of the day, I will always be Team Jake. All right, now we can proceed with the chat, because I didn't appreciate what you did, so I just had to. I fix the record.
You know what I think it really is? I think I read a lot of tweets online about this show, and people love, they love Jake. They swoon over Jake, but they love all of the love affair stuff that goes in with Olivia. And I guess I should really be more Team Jake than anything, because I'm totally not Team Olivia and Fitz. Like, I'm over that whole thing. It's not as sensationalized as it used to be now. I think I'm more comfortable with it because there's trouble in paradise in the Grant household. But yeah, okay, that's fine. You give your applause again for Team J. Congratulations.
Yeah, Team J.
That's fine.
He's wonderful. He's wonderful.
But
LBJ, he's wonderful, but he is clearly not winning. Because at the end of the episode, Olivia's there on the balcony yet again, LBJ.
With no fried chicken.
Not a bit of chicken in sight. And Dan Blakemore is clearing it up for us. It's the Truman balcony. Okay. There they are on the Truman balcony.
Oh yeah, because I called it the veranda.
You did. Thank you, Dan Blakemore. It's the Truman balcony. And Fitz is saying, yeah, I'm divorcing Mellie. I'm doing it for you, girl. I'm paraphrasing. I'm doing it for you, girl. And then Olivia says, no, don't you dare do that for me. She was like, if we were for you to divorce Mellie and you and me to try to go public, well, guess what? That would be the end of us. The public, the world would destroy us. Mm-hmm. And LBJ, Fitz gives in. And he says, all right, you don't want to go public. You don't want me to divorce Mellie. Fine. LBJ, that's where the episodes end. The episode ends with Olivia agreeing and advocating for continuing to be the help in the White House.
That's not how the episode ended, Janiyah. You want to know how the episode ended? The episode ended with Sally Langston saying,
oh, that's right.
You, Mr. President, I see you, sir.
LBJ, and what?
It was hilarious.
So good. LBJ, and what was she talking about? How could I forget? LBJ, the photos.
Yes.
The photos, LBJ.
Photos. We have to talk about the photos. Those things came in like a thief in the night. I mean, it came in like something really, really crazy because there was this moment, right, that you just described, this very triumphant moment with Fitz and Olivia. It's like they came to a common ground. They came to an agreement as to how they could play their relationship, how it could work. And then all of a sudden, Gabby Abby Red is affirmed with what Lizzie Bear DeGeneres told Gabby Abby Red is affirmed when she goes to the Truman balcony and she sees Olivia and Fitz making out. And she's like, hey, listen, stop. You all need to come in and see what's going on. I mean, Zoe Emile, and so what happens is Sally Langston says, you, Mr. President, I see you, sir, because she now has the proof that something is going on inside the walls of America's White House. And all of those things are going on. And Sally Langston is the one who called it out on her random show on Hi, Candace, welcome to the shop.
Hi,
Candace. Sally Langston is the one that that called the whole thing out. It was Zoe Emile in the chat. Zoe Emile is here, and she says that she believes that it was actually Fitz who might have leaked those photographs to the public. Who knows? Who knows who actually leaked those photos to the media? What do you think, Janiyah?
That's a good point, Zoe. I mean, you said if you think Fitz did it because he's tired of hiding. You know what? That is actually consistent. You'll recall that Fitz in the past has blown up his own spot to try to get with Olivia publicly. Yeah. So I would not put it past him. But I have to tell you, we stumbled across this Cyrus angle earlier, and I'm really starting to buy into that. I have to say, it is very compelling to think of Cyrus as a take down the White House person when he has always been a champion, the White House person.
Absolutely.
I have to say, I'm kind of compelled by that theory.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was one of the things where it's like, okay, and now the season can begin. We now have something to figure out for the rest of this season. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, who leaked the pictures? Who's going to give the pictures back? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that?
Yes. And LBJ Dan Blakemore said, but who provided the photos to Cyrus? Is Tom's replacement also not on Fitz's team? # watch your back.
Oh, Debbie skid. What is going to happen?
Man.
Oh, man. I don't know. But Zoe Emile says, can we talk about Cyrus and his disconnection from the whole situation? Is Cyrus really disconnected from the whole situation? I think he is. Cyrus is going to be reconnected to the situation when we figure out how this whole photograph thing is going to play. Because remember, everyone who's ever known about this now, to me, is going to have to come back to the table to figure out how they're going to play this out, because Sally Langston is in it to win it at this point.
Yeah, she clearly is. And let me just say once again, it does my heart good to have her there, LBJ, narrating the anti-White House sentiment on this show. I love her for that. She's so good. LBJ, I have to say, as we're wrapping up the chat, there is one character who reemerged, who was not in the season finale, but who reemerged, who was in the season finale of season 4, but reemerged today for just a quick minute. And that was Mrs. Ross, the vice president. Did you see?
I love her. She was, we saw her at the state dinner
for just a minute,
Queen, and then we saw her at the swearing in. I love Ms. Ross. She's great.
Yes, and LBJ, I just want to say, at the state dinner, she was indeed the worst. LBJ,
she always
the worst. LBJ, how did she start off her chit chat with the Queen? So
I don't remember. What did she say?
I wrote it down because it was just the ultimate whackness. She was like, "So, you've been queen for a while. That's your chit chat."
You're right. And then the Queen played it back, and she's like, "Well, tell me how you rose so fast to be the vice president."
Right.
Yeah, I remember
LBJ,
that. It was so good.
I was just like, Susan Ross, get a coach of some sort to help you with your chit chat. Anyway, but just wanted to point out that she is present, LBJ. She is present.
She is. We've got a lot of key players that we're working with this season, and I think that we are in for a great treat, especially with the affair now public to Washington, to the DMV
to the
area,
world, to the
not
world.
really to the world. This is really going to put Sally Langston on the map. Like, remember, she's got an Inside the Beltway show in DC that's local. No one's really watching her show like that. It's not like she's on a major network. She's local, but this is going to have the potential to give her legs to get a show on their version of MSNBC or CNN, Fox News, on Scandal, to see where what's really going to play. It probably wouldn't be on MSNBC because they're not progressive, that camp. So it'd probably be their version of Fox, on Scandal. But let's see what's going to happen, and let's see what we miss in this Q&A as we round robin this thing out and say bye-bye.
I love round robin.
Coffee Light out the gate has the most pluses here, but wait though, Sally keeps forgetting that she stabbed her husband to death. Excuse me, Miss Ma'am, have a seat. Right, Sally. That very well might be a trump card, Coffee Light and Sweet, for Sally Langston to sit down and what did they say, have every seat in the theater or in the arena, to have several seats or whatever. That could be what shuts down Sally Langston. It's the fact that she's a murderer.
Yes, and LBJ, that's also something that Cyrus Bean can always hold over her head when he wants her to do work for him. Hashtag think about it. Dan Blakemore said that Lizzie Bear offended Mellie with a gallon of fresh piping hot truth tea.
Fresh piping hot truth tea. Goodness gracious.
It's so good. The visual of that statement is so good because that's exactly what happened. Burn her upper lip with that tea. It was hot. Burn her real good.
Kimmy J want to talk about the pictures again. She said, "Who in the hell left the gate open? Can we talk about who leaked the pictures, and did Gabby Abby Red turn on Olivia?" I don't know if she's going to turn on Olivia, Kimmy J. I think that she's going to have some real reservations with her, because remember, we talked about their friendship and their sisterhood. She kind of betrayed that when she lied to her.
LBJ, Abby leaking the photos. Ooh, I have to tell you, it's going to be interesting.
She doesn't have the audacity to do that. She doesn't have it. She doesn't. I
don't know. A bitter woman will do lots of things that a sane woman won't do. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Thank you for the note.
Oh, yeah. Hashtag truth. Again, Coffee Light and Sweet said, y'all know that Mellie will clap back on Lizzie Bear, right? It will be glorious. Mellie's gathering her chess pieces right now, especially after Sally lowered the boom tonight. The carnage will be epic. You're so right, Coffee Light and Sweet. Mellie always comes back. She does. She's victim. She's victim for a while, but she circles right back.
She does circle back. Coffee Light and Sweet is hitting it though in the Q&A. She says, "Child, when you said N-word," remember earlier I said the N-word, everybody, it's only allowed here. She said, when you said N-word tonight, I got a little nervous. But then she said nectar. Yeah, the nectar is strong in that one. Too strong. It needs to be diluted with water so folks can breathe. that nectar will not be diluted. Do you know that Olivia Pope is the seed of Rowan and the seed of Maya? Do you know how strong and how aggressive and how alpha those people are? That nectar will never be diluted. That is nectar that is sold by the ounce. You can only buy 2 ounces because it is so thick and rich and serious. It has dramatic effect.
I think it was Dan Blakemore who last season first identified that the nectar does come in concentrated form.
That's the only way it's going to come in concentrated.
It's always concentrated. And Yolanda Baker continuing to clear the record. Now, before we stab on Sally, Fitz ain't no saint with his agenda over doing what right, then accusing his woman of fighting against him. Did it sound familiar? First Mellie, now Olivia. Fitz got power issues. Clearly, he does.
We know that. We know Fitz has power issues.
Clearly.
Passed down to him from his father. It's a generational curse. Woo! That's what the church people call it, a generational curse. Just touch the screen now, and you can just patient it out and be released of the curse. Fitz, touch the screen. Fitz, come on and be set free. Be delivered.
So good.
But look, Zoe Neal is shouting out another favorite character on Scandal, who I brought to everyone's attention on the Scandal recap last season. And I remember the sister that's in the White House press corps, and she always has the questions every single episode. I need to look her up. I need to follow her on Twitter and Instagram and let her know I support your career. I support what you're doing on Scandal, I hope you really do have a bigger role this season, because she's the one who called Gabby Abbey Red out in the press conference. And Zoe just want to say shout out to the sister with the locks in the press room who played Gabby Abbey Red. That woman has been hitting them with the questions since, what was that, season 4? Maybe at the end of season 3 and all throughout season 4, she was in that press room going at it.
And LBJ, she's very good. She's very good. You have to let us know once you find out a little bit more about that actress, because she's very good.
She's great. I really like her. She delivers. I'm sure her family's sitting at that TV set every Thursday like, oh, here she come, here she come, here she come, like, because they're so excited about her. So she's going to have. I was trying to be like that. That was my cousin. Like, that's my cousin. Like, getting really excited about it.
Got him again, girlfriend. That's right. That's how you want it.
Right.
LBJ, in the chat, I came, I saw, I left, raised a really good question here. She's saying, are you annoyed at the character of Olivia Pope, who is supposed to be this powerful and intelligent woman, is being relegated to a side chick? Whew! That is the $40 billion question. Because you know what? Every single time I'm resentful of the situation, she goes and chooses it again. She keeps choosing it, LBJ. So it's like, is she comfortable being a side chick? This character getting inside that noodle, it's tremendous.
Olivia has a problem. We talked about this last season. Olivia's problem is that she does not want to commit in her personal life because of all the scars and the wounds that she has. We saw last season how she just gave herself away to men based on what was going on in her life. If her relationship was not right with her mother or her father, she slept with those men. Remember, Olivia went to the bar and got with that guy, Russell or Leroy, whatever his name, when he had a real like ethnic and like successively ethnic and offensive name. Like, it was like, meet Leroy, meet Oscar, meet Russell. He had one of those names, like, my name is Russell. And she took him back to her apartment and she just like screwed this man's brains out. But he was really sent there to set her up. She is this way. Her father knows that she's this way. Remember, Olivia, this goes back to her collegiate days while she was a student in DC in college. Remember, she was sleeping with like the senators while she was an intern or something like that.
Yes, she was.
She has this insatiable appetite that she uses it with sex, but she's using it to mask something else. So yes, I do believe, I came, I saw, I left, that Olivia, that's the person's name, everybody, whose question we're talking about. I believe that she is okay with being the side chick, because it's not about that. That's just a way she's using. It's whatever. It's a vice that she's using to act out some internal conflict and struggle that she has.
LBJ, I will tell you, and you know, this is not the time for Jania's soapbox, but I will say that because the show is wrapping up. But I will say this, LBJ. I think that the best love story here, the one that I would love to see come to fruition, is Olivia loving herself. You know, we all are on this journey. And LBJ, let me just say, I wish that for her. I have said it on many occasions. I'm on the record of saying, where are her girlfriends? She needs someone. She needs Iyanla, okay? She needs to go find Marla's best friend. What was her name? Marla's the next door neighbor.
The next door neighbor. Yeah, she needs that grandma love. That she needs that woman in her life.
Grandma. She does, LBJ, because she's going to continue to make these choices until someone says to her, girlfriend, you need to choose you.
Yeah, it actually was Marla Gibbs' character. Actually, that's who it was. It was Marla Gibbs' character.
Yes.
She was the lover of her neighbor, and she came to check on her. And that's the woman who I said last season they need to bring back to really mother Olivia and give her that hug. Let her lay there and be swaddled with her, and just lay there and cry and just talk about all of her woes and her concerns. And really, really atone with Olivia, and then atoning within herself will make her really become a new person. And she may say, you know what, that very well might be the end of Scandal. If that happens, that might be the end of the show. It's like, okay,
that's the perfect show finale, really.
It is. And I think it's the perfect time for us to wrap up here and say good night to everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out and joining us. Now listen, we told you at the top of the episode that how we watched how Janiyah watched Scandal tonight. So
I continue to be the worst.
It's
just so hard.
When we travel and we can watch Scandal, the practice is to use an app, a legitimate app through ABC, to watch Scandal. Now, if normally when I'm traveling on Thursdays and I miss the Scandal chat, it's because I'm out of the country. Like our anniversary's in November, so we're normally traveling out of the country for our anniversary. So in November, in a few weeks, guys, I might not be here. We won't have the Scandal chat, but we'll pick it back up when we come back. Janiyah was using said app. That's legitimate, by the way.
Which I do all the time. I'm always traveling when we do these shows. And the app has always been faithful. That's what I want the record to show. It has not failed in the past.
And normally for me, when I'm traveling, I can watch it on Eastern Standard Time and I'm good to go. And we just continue on with the Scandal chats. Well, tonight, Janiyah being on the West Coast Pacific time, Janiyah used the app to log in, and the app was airing the ABC network in New York. And right now they're dealing with the papal visit in New York. So all they had going on was the Pope on the news all throughout Grey's Anatomy. So Janiyah and I are texting back and forth, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? Well, I had to Jimmy rig the whole thing. Come close. The whole thing. And I took my iPad to our guest room upstairs, put the iPad in front of the TV, and let Janiyah watch Scandal through a Google Hangout.
I watched the show through a Google Hangout. And let me just say, and I want everyone to know that the television in LBJ's guest room is from 1923.
No,
okay? Yes, it is. No way, no how. Okay? No, but you know what? We made it happen, because let me just say, I felt like it was a big silver fat back television, because my experience was not top quality. But anyway, LBJ, I am so thankful for you. LBJ did what was necessary to make sure that I could watch the show tonight. I thank you, LBJ. #love. And we had to do this show tonight because we missed everybody. And it's so good to be back. And just looking forward to next week.
It's going to be good. Tell a friend. This archives on YouTube immediately after we hang up here. So thank you all for watching. If you're watching now on YouTube, we're not on the air anymore. So leave a comment down below. We would love to respond to your comments, and we will see you back next week. Reply to the event page, subscribe so that you can stay connected to all of us. Until next time, this is the Scandalous Scandal Recap. #Scandal Recap. I'm Larry. That's Janiyah waving at you. Say what up, Janiyah.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.